Fans, welcome to Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs Baseball. I'm Pete Pagliaro, bringing you all the action here tonight as the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs kick off the perfect game collegiate baseball league season, the 2026 campaign. And they will do that against the Boonville Lumberjacks here tonight from the Vets Park in Little Falls. First starting lineups for the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. In center field is number 14, Eric Diaz. Right field is number 44, Jake Hard. Shortstop is number 17, Brian Arias. In left field for the Dogs, number 19 is Brody Freaker. Second baseman is number 4, Nolan Colby. The DH, number 15, is Jack Henning. First baseman is number 38, Wesley Alfonso. Catching tonight for the Dogs, number 34, Joe Crenshaw. And at third base is number 29, Aiden Streeter. On the mound tonight for Mohawk Valley is the pitcher from Lafayette College, number 8, Allie Hood. And for the visiting Boonville Lumberjacks, the extra hitter tonight in the lineup, number 11 is Davon Abagaba. The center fielder is number 7, William Hill. First baseman number 13, Michael Clarkson. The DH is number 31, Ian Farmer. At third base for the Lumberjacks is number 20, Tanner Ferguson. Elijah Negron is the second baseman, number 4. Number 25 is the right fielder, wide last tier. The catcher for the Lumberjacks. Number 26 is Jacob Young. And left field for the Lumberjacks, Noah Reed, wearing number 5. And the shortstop is number 1, Asher Friedman. Pitching tonight for the Lumberjacks is number 10, Logan Brock. So those are your lineups here tonight. A little cool night here for Mohawk Valley. But again, we got baseball here in Mohawk Valley tonight as Mohawk Valley's pitcher takes the last few warm-up tosses. That is Allie Hood as he warms up on the mound here, and we are just about ready for some baseball. This will kick off the 2026 PGCBL season. Dogs played last night against the Albany Athletics. That was a win, a 3-2 victory for the Dogs, and that was an exhibition game, a 7-inning game. To get things kind of started and get some of the jitters out. Today the season officially kicks off for both teams. So 2 more pitches we were told here from the umpire for Allie Hood. And then we are set to go. So good crowd here on hand in Little Falls. We are coming to you live from Little Falls, New York, Veterans Memorial Park. And again, as I always say, if you haven't been here, make sure you make it a stop on your baseball journeys. It is a wonderful ballpark, hidden gem in my opinion, and not too far from the Baseball Hall of Fame. So if you were to stop down here, get a hotel right here in town. Check out some of the restaurants and shops in the area. So we will start things off. It'll be Davon Abaga from the Culinary Academy. He will start things off here for the Lumberjacks, and he is going to face Allie Hood for Mohawk Valley. Hood's a right-handed pitcher. He's going to face Davon Abagaba, and also a right-handed batter. That one gets away from the catcher. Wild pitch. And the count quickly 1-0 to start things off. We have a little bit of a breeze here tonight. And the breeze wind is going from right to left here. And Abiyaga waiting for the first pitch, second pitch, and he pops that one off foul. And the count now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to the extra hitter in the lineup, Davon Abagaba. He'll be followed by William Hill and Michael Clarkson. So here is Allie Hood with the 1-1 pitch, and puts it down the center of the plate for a called strike 2. And they count now 1-2. So ahead of the count is Allie Wood to Abagaba. So Hood looks in, gets his sign from his catcher, Joe Crenshaw. Here's the windup, and the pitch is outside. Crenshaw reaches over to grab it, and they count 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nice blue sky here in the Mohawk Valley in the Little Falls, New York. Coming to you from Vets Memorial Park. There's the wind-up pitch. It is falling off on the first base line. A souvenir for our young fans here To the right of us, we have a playground. A lot of times the kids are out there roaming around. They grab themselves a ball as a souvenir, bring them back to the booth, and get something for that baseball, usually free hot dog or something similar. 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Abagaba. Allie Hood, first full count of the game here. First batter trying to mow him down here and pick up out number 1 to start things off in the first inning. Here's the pitch. And inside. And he will walk the first batter of the game, Hood. So first batter comes to the plate. He will take a walk over first base. And William Hill now, the center fielder for the Lumberjacks, will step into the batter's box on the right side. Lumberjacks wearing their gray pants, green socks, and the tops are a hunter green with some gold and white. So both teams wearing hunter green tops. Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs wearing their whites here. That one gets away, runner advances to second base. A lot of green here in the ball game tonight between Mohawk Valley and Boonville. So runner is on second base for the Lumberjacks here. You're in the top of the first inning with Allie Hood on the mound for Mohawk Valley. DiamondDawgs looking for victory number 1 of the PGCBL season. Won last night, but not going to count the PGCBL standings. That was an exhibition against the Albany Athletics. That one misses in the count now 1-1 to William Hill. Hill, the center fielder, wearing number 7 for the Lumberjacks. Hood looks in. He's in a 1-1 count. Is Hill at the plate? Runner is dancing around on second base, not being held on. Here's the pitch. And it's inside for ball 2. And the count now jumps to 2-1. Actually, sorry, 3-0. 3-0 count to William Hill. He'll adjust his helmet, his white helmet that he's wearing. We'll step back in the box here with a 3-0 count. There's the windup and the pitch, and it's inside for ball 4. So 2 batters and 2 walks to start the ball game here. Not a good start for Allie Hood, Mohawk Valley. So Michael Clarkson now, another right-handed batter, comes to the plate. Before that, we will get the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs head coach out to talk to the pitcher. And Allie Hood gives him some encouragement, settle him down a bit here with the runners on first and second. And those first game jitters are real, folks. I know that the DiamondDawgs played yesterday in an exhibition. However, this is the real deal here. This is game 1 of the PGCBL season. I apologize. A lot of letters there. Runners on first and second, and we are ready to go here with Michael Clarkson at the plate. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Top of the first. Allie Hood, the pitcher. Righty versus righty here. Hood looks at the runner at second and now delivers the pitch, and he puts it high for ball 1. So Allie Hood looking for the strike zone here, struggling to find it early. Steps off the rubber momentarily. Getting that runner at second base. Taking a generous lead, not being held on quite yet. Second baseman coming in and backs off. And there's the throw by Crenshaw. The runner gets back quickly, just trying to keep him close as Crenshaw. So 2 balls and no strikes. Michael Clarkson at the plate. Ian Farber is on deck. Clarkson is ready at the plate. And Hood looking back, that runner at second base. Here's the windup and the pitch. That one missing outside, ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes here. As Allie Hood steps off again, takes off his cap, just trying to settle in here. He clearly frustrated with himself. Just trying to find that middle of the plate where he wants to be. 3-0. Takes a long stare. Does Hood at second base and delivers the pitch right down the middle. And the count now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike as Hood tries to battle back here in the count. He's got runners on first and second. Only 1 spot available for a runner here with Michael Clarkson at the plate. 3-1 pitch on the way. And that one also misses for ball 4. And that will load the bases early here for Boonville with nobody out and Ian Farber coming to the plate. So three batters, 3 straight walks for Allie Hood. And Ian Farber now the batter for Boonville. So fans listening, thanks for hanging tight with us. That one gets away from the catcher, and a run is going to score as he just got his glove on it, and it bounced off the glove and allowed a run to score. And now 1-0 the score with runners on second and third here for Boonville. So not a good start for the DiamondDawgs here in the first inning at Vets Memorial Park. Farber, a left-handed batter for Boonville. 1-0 count, pitches on the way. And there is strike 1 as he finds the center of the plate, does Hood. And the count now even at 1-1. But 1 ball and 1 strike to Farber. Ferguson is on deck. And it is high and outside for ball 2. And the count now 2-1. So Ian Farber, the designated hitter, number 31 for Boonville. Left-handed batter facing the righty in Allie Hood. Again, that wind blowing from right to left here, sometimes blowing straight out to center. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 3, and the count now 3-1. So tough situation here for Allie Hood. He doesn't want to walk the first straight batters he faces. Sent the first 3 to the base pads. He's got 1 spot open at first base. Hood winds and delivers and puts that one on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count now 3-2. So a full count here for Allie Hood. Looking for out number 1 here in the top of the first. Hood sets, winds, and delivers, and puts that one outside. And 4 straight walks here for Allie Hood to start things off. And bases are loaded again here for Boonville. They have a 1-0 advantage, and bases full of Lumberjacks. So Tanner Ferguson now the batter for Boonville. Boonville, the third baseman for the Lumberjacks. Ferguson, a right-handed batter here with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. And inside, almost hits Ferguson, does Allie Hood for ball 1. And here's Joe Crenshaw going out to the mound to deliver the ball to his pitcher and trying to settle him down here with bases loaded. So he takes off his mask, does Crenshaw, hands the ball back to his pitcher, Allie Hood. They discuss it over. I imagine Crenshaw just telling them to just settle down, just throw strikes, and let the defense work behind him here with bases loaded. 1-0 the score, nobody out. Top of the first. And Tanner Ferguson will step back into the batter's box to face Allie Hood. Hood sets now. Winds and delivers. And there's a call strike inside corner to Ferguson, and the count even at 1-1. Umpire giving that inside portion of the plate thus far early in the ball game. 1-1 pitch on the way, and that one inside but missing, and the count 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike to Tanner Ferguson. Elijah Negron is on deck for Boonville. Hood sets, winds, delivers, and as the ball hits sharply into left field, this is going to score at least 2 runs here. Here's run number 1, and a run number 2 crosses the plate, and the runner at second thought about going to third, and he's going to stay put. So runners on first and second, 2 more runs score, And the score now 3-0 after the single from Ferguson. So an RBI single for Tanner Ferguson. Elijah Negron, the second baseman, will come to the plate for Boonville with a 3-0 advantage. Nobody out. Runners on first and second here for Boonville. And Negron, a right-handed batter for Boonville. He pops that one up into center field. Center fielder backs up to make the catch for Mohawk Valley for out number 1. That was Eric Diaz. So Elijah Negron pops out to center field for the first out of the ball game. And runners will stay put on first and second with one out and a 3-0 advantage here for Boonville. Wyatt Lasseter, the right fielder now, a right-handed batter for Boonville, will step up to the plate to face Hood. Hood looks at the runner at second base, and now he winds and delivers. And he delivers a strike in the count, 0-1. A good start here for Hood on Lasseter. No balls and one strike to Lasseter. Again, runners on first and second, taking short leads, not being held on by the first or second baseman at the moment. There's the windup and the pitch. Ball is hit to the shortstop, who scoops it, throws over to second, back to first, and they get him a double play. That's 4-3 for the double play. Ends the inning. Not before a 3-run score here for the Lumberjacks. And we head to the bottom of the first. Lumberjacks 3, DiamondDawgs 0.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
And we are back, folks. Another great contest between innings. Kids got a little bit wet here. I know it's a little chilly still, but as the summer goes on, they're going to love that extra water as the balloons break over their heads and keep them nice and cool here during the summer. Right now, a little chilly, but the kids still love it. And it's just a great fun time here for the kids here in Little Falls. So, bottom of the first, 3-0 to score. Lumberjacks jumped all over Allie Hood to start things off. Hopefully things will settle down. But right now they lead 3-0. Eric Diaz will lead things off here for the DiamondDawgs in the bottom half of the first. And Diaz is number 14 for Mohawk Valley. He's the center fielder, a left-handed batter, and he will face Logan Brock. And there's a big swing and a miss by Diaz for strike number 1. So lefty in Diaz against the righty here in Logan Brock. 0-1 count. Here's Brock now with the windup. And the 0-1 pitch. Brock taking his time, and timeout's going to be called as Diaz didn't like how long Brock was taking on the mound. Long stare from Brock. And timeout was called. So Diaz will step back into the batter's box. And we'll do it all again. Here's the windup and the pitch this time from Brock. Swing and a miss for strike 2. So quickly ahead of the count now is Logan Brock on Eric Diaz. The count 0-2. 0-2 pitch and calls strike 3 outside portion of the plate. Diaz does not agree with that as he walks away unhappy with 1 out. So Jake Hard, a right-handed batter for the Dogs, will step into the batter's box here to face Logan Brock. Brock looks in, lifts his glove up, and winds and delivers right down the middle for strike 1. The count 0-1. Brock moves quickly. He sets back up right after he delivers that pitch, and will wind and deliver. And there's a swing and a miss by Hard. And the count quickly 0-2. So Brock jumping all over these batters quickly, getting ahead of the count 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes here to Hard. As Brock looks in, gets the sign, winds and delivers. And a little chopper to short. Shortstop has a little bit of trouble with it, grabs it, throws over to first, and that is out number 2. So a ground out to the shortstop. That's Ashton Friedman for Boonville. Bobbled it just a bit, made the grab, threw over to first, got the out. So with 2 outs, here is Byron Arias, the shortstop for the Dogs. Arias, a left-handed batter, so lefty versus righty here with 2 outs. Nobody on. Outside, ball 1. A 1-0 the count to Brian Arias. He's got nobody on here in the bottom half of the first. Lumberjacks ahead 3-0. And that is hit into left field. Left fielder's backing up at the wall. And that's going to hit the Hummel sign, and he's going to head over to second and now get on the wheels and head to third. And that's a stand-up triple for Brian Arias. So that's what the Dogs needed to get things going here in the bottom half of the first with 2 outs. So Arias hits it way out to left field. Left fielder was unable to grab it quickly. That was Noah Reed out there and left for Boonville. And Brody Freaker now the batter for the Dogs. So with 1 out, he's got a runner on third in scoring position. Down 3-0. Dogs can use all the runs they can get here. Get back in this thing early. Pitches outside from Brock. And the count in 1-0. So Arias at third base here for the Dogs with 2 outs. Brock looks in. Freaker at the plate. Here's the pitch. And right down the middle, called strike 1 in the count, even at 1-1. So a ball and a strike here to Brody Freaker, the left fielder for the Dogs. He wears number 19. Bats from the right side. Logan Brock sets, winds and delivers, and that one gets away, and that's going to allow a run to score. And the Dogs get on the board in the bottom half of their inning, and the score now 3-1, the Lumberjacks. That one thrown in the dirt, took a big bounce away from the catcher. Allowed the runner at third base, Brian Arias, to score. 2-1 count here to Brody Freaker. Again, 2 outs, now nobody on with the run scoring. A windup and the pitch is fouled off down the first base side, and that will even the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brody Freaker. Freaker steps back into the box, awaiting the pitch from Logan Brock. Brock winds and delivers on the 2-2. And again, stopped by the catcher. And the count now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Jacob Young behind the plate for Boonville, doing some work back there. So full count here to Freaker with 2 outs. Here's the windup and the pitch. And call strike 3, and that'll do it for the inning. So a strikeout looking to Brody Freaker ends the inning. The Dogs put up 1 run, and they're down 3-1 as we head to the top of the second.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
He is the catcher, number 26, from Wabash Valley College, Jacob Young. And we are back, fans, for the top of the second. And leading things off for Boonville is the catcher, Jacob Young. So here is Young at the plate, Allie Hood on the mound. Hood looking for a better second inning here as he struggled in the first there. There's a swing and a miss. And already a better start here for Hood with the swing and a miss to Jacob Young. And the count 0-1. No balls and a strike here to Young. It'll be Young, Noah Reed, and Asher Friedman all due up here. There's strike number 2. And quickly ahead in the count now is Allie Hood. No balls and 2 strikes here to Jacob Young. Hood looks in. He sets, winds, and delivers. And missing low. That was down the center of the plate, but just a little low. And the count now 1-2. Hood was looking for the strike call there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A windup and the pitch. And that one hits him. So Jacob Young hit by a pitch. So Hood was doing everything right there. And then one got away from him. And now he puts a runner on first base with nobody out. And Noah Reed, the left fielder, will come to the plate. So Noah Reed, a right-handed batter, will face the righty Allie Hood. Hood now has a runner on first with nobody out. Looks over his shoulder at that runner being held on at first base. There's the windup and the pitch. And that is high for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Noah Reed, then following him on deck is Asher Friedman. Noah Reed is the left fielder, bats from the right side. And back to first goes Allie Hood. That one almost got away from the first baseman and Wesley Alfonso. So 1-0 count here to Noah Reed. Top of the second, 3-1 score. Boonville ahead. Here's the windup and the pitch. Curveball curves in for a strike, and the count even at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Noah Reed. Again, Hood looks over. So the runner at first base sets, winds, and delivers. And in the dirt, Crenshaw keeps it in front of him as it bounces away, but he managed to keep it close and nearby, and the runner wasn't able to go anywhere. That brings the count now to 2-1 to Reed. Here's the windup, 2-1 pitch to Reed. Outside, and Crenshaw throws over to first. The runner slides back. And the count now 3-1. So Allie Hood with a 3-1 count here. Hood delivers the pitch. It is pop foul here behind us. And the count now 3-2. So full count here to Noah Reed. And this is one that Hood wants to get here. Does not want to put him on base with nobody out. Already a runner on first base. A 3-1 advantage here for Boonville. 3-2 pitch. And Allie Hood throws back. The first runner slides back. That is Jacob Young. He reached by a hit by pitch. So Hood looks over his shoulder. Sets now. Kicks, winds, and delivers. And that one gets away for ball 4. And now runners on first and second for the Lumberjacks. Another walk here by Allie Hood. That is the 5th walk of the game here for Hood. So Asher Friedman now, the batter for Boonville. Runners on first and second. Still nobody out here in the top of the second. First inning, Boonville put up 3. And they got an opportunity to do much of the same here with nobody out. And the runners on first and second. First pitch to Friedman was a strike, and the count 0-1. Batter steps out. Now we'll step back into the batter's box. He's a right-handed batter, is Friedman. 0-1. There's the pitch, and that is hit to center field. Center fielder takes a step back, makes the grab. That is Eric Diaz. And runners are going to stay put at first and second with a 1 out now. So I pop out to center field for Friedman. And we go back to the top of the lineup here, the top of the order with Davon Abaga. So Abaga, another righty here for Boonville with 1 out. Runners on first and second. Looking to do some damage here in the top of the second against Allie Wood. First time up for Abaga, a walk. Here's Hood, takes the long stare at second base, delivers the pitch, big swing and a miss by Abaga, the extra hitter, and the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike and 1 out. Abaga, number 11 for Boonville, at the teal bat. 0-1 pitch on its way, and that one misses outside, and the count even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Davon Abaga. William Hill is on deck for Boonville. Gorgeous day here in the Valley for baseball. Here's the pitch. And curveball curves in, catches the inside portion of the plate. That brings the count to 1-2 now to Abaga. Hood badly needing an out here with a 1 out and runners on first and second, down 3-1. Looks at the runner at second, who's staying pretty close. Here's the pitch. And in the dirt, stop by Crenshaw. And that will even things up at 2-2 as Abaga steps out. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Abaga. With his teammates on first and second. Runners not being held on by the first or second baseman here. 2-2 pitch on its way from Hood. And that one misses for ball 3. And again, another full count here for Allie Hood. Hood steps off the rubber. Oh, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Abaga awaits the pitch here from Allie Hood. Hood looks at that runner at second again and winds and delivers. Swing and a miss. And Abaga goes down swinging for out number 2. So just what the doctor ordered for Allie Hood. And that is out number 2. So William Hill from the University of Texas. He walked last time up as well. Another right-handed batter is Hill. He is the center fielder for Boonville. So with 2 outs, runners on first and second, Allie Hood will go to work. Hood delivers high and inside for ball 1. Will Hill, the batter, has stepped out of the box. And now we'll step back in as Hood is on the rubber, ready to go. 1-0, 2 outs, runners on first and second, 3-1 advantage here for Boonville. And there's a called strike. And he will go ahead now. Actually, 1-1, I believe. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hill. And Hood winds and delivers again inside for ball 2. And the count 2-1 now to Will Hill. So should Hill reach, Clarkson is on deck. Allie Hood steps off usually almost every pitch. And jumps back on the mound to deliver. 2-1, here's the pitch. Called, strike 2 right down the center of the plate, and that evens things up at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners on the base pads, first and second, and a 2-run advantage here for Boonville. 3-1 the score. Top of the second. Wind up the pitch, and swing and a miss, and Allie Hood gets out of it. And the score remains 3-1 as we head to the bottom half of the second for the DiamondDawgs.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
And we are back for the bottom of the second. And coming to the plate for Mohawk Valley is number 44, Nolan Colby. So Nolan Colby will lead things off here in the bottom of the second for the Dogs. It'll be Colby, Henning, and Alfonso. Here's the windup and the pitch by Brock. And that one is popped foul and out of play for Colby. The count 0-1. So Nolan Colby, the second baseman. Amy Gabe listening out there in Facebook land. So hello to Amy. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. I know Amy is a DiamondDawgs fan, so not enjoying the score right now, but hopefully the Dogs will battle back. And that one misses, and the count now 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Colby. Colby, a left-handed batter facing the righty in Brock. 1-1 the count. Here's the windup and the pitch. Right down the center of the plate, and that is good for strike 2. So ahead now in the count is the pitcher for Boonville, Logan Brock. 1-2 as Colby looks to battle here at the plate with the 1-2 count. Here's the windup and the pitch. And he fouls that one off. Does Colby down the third base line. The count will stay put at 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fans, if you're unable to make the game yesterday or today, don't worry. We are back here on Sunday. So, Colby the first baseman. And Jack Henning now comes to play. So Jack Henning, number 15, designated hitter for the Dogs. So that'll bring up Wensley Alfonso from American International University. Alfonso is the first baseman for the Dogs. He wears number 38, bats from the right side. And with 1 out, he's got a teammate at first base, taking a short lead, being held on by the first baseman, Clarkson. Here's the windup and the pitch, and Alfonso fouls it off here behind the backstop, and the count 0-1. So with the 1 out, Alfonso at the plate, Joe Crenshaw on deck for the Dogs. Alfonso is ready. Logan Brock looks at the runner at first, and now looks like he's ready to go. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that is a base hit to right field. And around, the runner heads to second base and third. And we have runners on second and third, a double for Wesley Alfonso, and now the Dogs are cooking. So Joe Crenshaw now with a big opportunity here for the Dogs. Down 3-1, just 1 out. And he's got runners on second and third in scoring position. So Crenshaw, the go-ahead run here for the Dogs in the bottom of the second. So Dogs bouncing right back here, the bottom half of the second. And the pitch to Crenshaw down low, called strike. So no balls and 1 strike to the catcher, Joe Crenshaw, wearing number 34. Timeout is called as the catcher has some adjustments to make to his gear. That is Jacob Young. Looks like he's good to go. And Crenshaw is back in the box. 0-1 the count to Crenshaw. Logan Brock, the pitcher, set to deliver the ball. Here's the pitch. And Crenshaw fouls that one off down the first base line. The count now 0-2. So ahead in the count is Logan Brock with 1 out and Dogs in scoring position at second and third. So Crenshaw settles in here at the plate. 0-2 the count. Brock winds, delivers, and Crenshaw puts it in play. Gets past the shortstop. 1 run scores. And that is a RBI single for Joe Crenshaw. And this game now 3-2. Boonville ahead. So slowly the Dogs chipping away here, getting themselves back in. So Aiden Streeter, bottom of the lineup here for the Dogs. He is the third baseman for Mohawk Valley. And again, a big opportunity here for Streeter with runners on the corners at first and third. Dogs down just 1 with 1 out. Bottom of the second, Dogs down 3-2. Here is Brock now with a pitch to Streeter. And Streeter puts it into play past the second baseman. And that's going to score a run. So another RBI single for the Dogs. And they have tied this game up here in the bottom of the second. So an RBI single for Aiden Streeter ties this ball game up for the Dogs. We go back to the top of the order with Eric Diaz, who struck out in his first at bat here tonight. And he's got runners on first and second here for the Dogs in the bottom half of the second inning, with the ball game knotted at 3. Well, 3-3 to score. Here is Brock with the pitch now to Diaz. And big swing and a miss for Diaz, the count 0-1. So no balls and one strike to Eric Diaz, the center fielder for the Dogs. A left-handed bat here for Mohawk Valley in the bottom of the second with one out and runners on first and second. Diaz awaits the pitch here from Brock. Brock sets, winds, delivers, and puts that outside on the corner, but just outside. And the count now jumps to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Diaz. Jake Hard is on deck. 1-1 count. Here is Brock with the pitch. And that is popped up high. And at center field at the wall. And he makes the catch, does the center fielder. That almost out of the ballpark. But he keeps it in, does Will Hill at center field as that wind was blowing from right to left. If that wind was blowing just a tad out, that ball would have been a home run then in the first of the season for the Dogs. But instead, it is out number 2. So a pop out to center field for Diaz and Jake Hard, now the batter. So runners on the corners here for the Dogs with 2 outs. Ball game tied at 3. Hard grounded out in his first attempt here tonight. A right-handed bat is Hard as Logan Brock shakes off the first pitch from his catcher. Now looks like he agrees to deliver. And a little chopper to third. And third baseman can't scoop it up. And they're going to call that a hit for Hard. It's a tough play there. So a single for Jake Hard. And with 2 outs, the Dogs now have jumped ahead 4-3. So an RBI single for Hard. And the Dogs have taken the lead here in the bottom of the second. Byron Arias, who tripled in his first at bat, now at the plate with the runners on first and second and 2 outs. Dogs looking to add more here in their bottom half of the second. That one high and outside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. That was high and outside. And the count of 1-0 to Arias. Arias set, ready to go. Here's Logan Brock with the windup and the pitch. And there's a strike down the middle of the count, even at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Arias. Should Arias reach, Brody Freaker is lurking on deck. 1-1 count, runners on first and second, both taking short leads, not being held on by anyone at the moment. Second, our shortstop comes flying in and then backs off. That one is hit to center field, and Will Hill makes the catch to end the inning. But the Dogs with a big inning, 3 runs, and they jump ahead 4-3 here after 2 complete. Back after this, folks.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank, it starts here.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
And we are back. We have a new pitcher on the mound here for Mohawk Valley. It is Dylan Anicelli from Southern Maine University. So Anicelli, now the pitcher for Mohawk Valley. And at the plate for Boonville is number 13, Michael Clarkson. Clarkson walked in his first at-bat here tonight. Here's Anicelli, your right-hander, facing the righty in Clarkson. As they swing and a miss for strike one. The count 0-1. And that one high by Anicelli in the count 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike here to Michael Clarkson. Here's the pitch. And outside, ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And that one catches the outside corner to count now 2-2 to Clarkson. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here from Anicelli. It'll be Clarkson, Farber, and Ferguson all due up here in the top of the third. Wind up the pitch and called. Strike 3 to Clarkson. And that is good for out number 1 to start things off here in the top of the third. So Ian Farber now the batter. So Ian Farber. There's a strike to Farber. The count now 0-1. And it's popped foul on the count now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Ian Farber, who walked on his first at bat. And swing and a miss for strike 3 to Ian Farber. So 2 outs. The big swing and a miss there by Farber. And that'll bring up Tanner Ferguson. So here is Ferguson now, who had an RBI single. And that one misses outside for ball 1. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. And called a strike. One count to Ferguson. Here's the windup, the pitch, and that one's hit sharply to center field. It's going to drop for a base hit for Tanner Ferguson. So Ferguson picks up a single here in the top of the third with 2 outs and nobody on. Here is Elijah Negron now. And for Negron, he popped out in his first attempt here tonight. First time facing Dylan Anicelli here. There's Anicelli with the windup, the pitch, and that is hit to right field. Right fielder gets on his horse, makes the catch for the out. That is Jake Hard out there in right field, and that will do it for the top of the third, and the score remains 4-3 Dogs. Back after this.
Some people might think that the tire shop in Canajoharie only does tires. Nah, that's only their name. The tire shop does so much more. Oil changes, custom wheels, interstate batteries, computer wheel balancing, tire repair service and recapping, auto accessories, tire chains, ag bags, bale and net wrap, and much more. And when it comes to tires, the tire shop in Canajoharie also does so much more. Lawn and garden tires, off the road, backhoe, loader tires, log skidder, agricultural, ATV and UTV tires, and on the farm tire services. services. The Tire Shop is a multi-line new tire dealer. That means they're quite a choice for top brand name tires for your car, truck, SUV, semi-tractor, and trailer, all at great prices. They're also a Goodyear national accounts and state contract pricing location. Financing available too. Find more information and a list of services at thetireshop.biz. Thetireshop.biz. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Yes, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Tire Shop, 155 Erie Boulevard in Canajoharie.
And fans, we are back. It is the bottom of the third inning. Dogs lead 4-3. And the left fielder, number 19, will lead things off here for the Dogs. That is Brody Fraker. Fraker struck out looking in his first at bat here this evening against Logan Brock. And it'll be Fraker, Colby, and Henning all due up here in this inning for Mohawk Valley. Here's the pitch outside, ball one. One ball and no strikes. So fans, if you're listening out there in Facebook land, internet land, make sure you make plans to come out to the park sometime this season. Lots of home dates available. You can come out and check out the Dogs in person. It is a great facility, great field here in Mohawk Valley. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. If you're a baseball fan, it is a must-do to check it off. One ball and one strike here to Freaker. Here's the windup and the pitch. High. And the count 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. If you're listening out there, New Hartford winners in their sectional matchup in softball. 12-11. Over Chittenango, I believe. That's what I've been told. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, as that's that time of year where softball and baseball are in sectional play as teams vying for a chance to bring home a title. My son had a game tonight, played Little Falls actually at home in West Berlin. Not a good outcome for them. That one is hit up the middle for a base hit. And Freaker, with a single, will start things off here for the Dogs in the bottom of the third. Nolan Colby, now the batter, he grounded out in his first at bat. So if you are a Little Falls fan of modified baseball, Little Falls made the trip. I came this way from West Berlin. They went that way to West Berlin, and they beat up on our Bulldogs 24-2. And that one is hit on the ground, and safe is Colby. And runners now on first and second here for the Dogs. You heard that right, 24-2 as the Little Falls modified beat West Berlin. The second time they've played each other. Last time they played was out here in Little Falls, and they also won that game. Just a good team is that Little Falls modified group. Modified baseball in the Little Falls area, always a force to be reckoned with. West Berlin is building, so we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. So here's Jack Henning, who singled, and at bat number 1, runners on first and second here for the Dogs. And Brock winds and delivers, and he delivers a strike down the middle, the count 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike to the DH, Jack Henning for the Dogs. Wesley Alfonso is on deck. Henning, a right-handed batter facing Logan Brock, also a right-handed pitcher, shakes off his sign from his catcher, shakes off the first one, looks like shakes off the second one. Third time is the charm. Here's the windup and the delivery by Brock. And a little chopper hit foul down the third base line by Henning. And the count 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Dogs kicking off this PGCBL season here on our Friday night in Little Falls. 0-2 now the count to Henning. Henning awaits the pitch. Here it comes. and stopped by the catcher in the dirt. Can't find it for a second. And Jacob Young finally rips his mask off and finds it. And the runners are going to stay put for the Dogs at first and second. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Bottom three, Dogs lead 4-3, looking to add some more runs here in the bottom of the third. Logan Brock sets now, and he would deliver on the 1-2. And puts it in the dirt again. Catcher gets a glove on it, but runners are able to advance to second and third, so now Dogs in scoring position as that ball got in the glove of Jacob Young, and then it popped out and rolled away and allowed the Dogs enough time to advance to second and third. So runners in scoring position here for Mohawk Valley. 2-2 to score. Jack Henning at the plate. I'm sorry, 4-3 to score. 2-2 the count. Henning is ready. Brock looks in, winds, and delivers. And that one misses high and inside for ball three, and the count now full at 3-2. So only one spot to put him here for Logan Brock. That is first base. He does so. That'll load the bases for Wesley Alfonso. So Henning in the box, awaiting Logan Brock's pitch. Here it comes. And swing and a miss, and he will strike out. Does Henning. That is out number one for the Dogs. So Wesley Alfonso, number 38, the first baseman, now will come to the plate. Alfonso doubled in his first at bat here tonight. He would gladly take that again with the runners on the second and third here for the Dogs in the bottom of the third. Dogs lead 4-3, one out. Logan Brock, the pitcher for Boonville. Here's the windup and the pitch. And the ball had a lot of movement, but was high in the count 1-0. Well, a cool evening here in Little Falls. Looks like the sun has finally gone behind some of the clouds. Not much sun out, but it was out for a little bit, casting a couple shadows on the field. Now it's behind some of the clouds, and there is no shadows. That one's popped up into right field. Right fielder is getting underneath it. He's going to make the grab, and here comes the throw. A run's going to score, and their runner will advance to third base. The Dogs add to that lead 5-3 as the sacrifice fly for Wesley Alfonso makes this game 5-3 Dogs. So Joe Crenshaw now the batter. Crenshaw with an RBI single in his first at bat here tonight. And he's going to jump into the box with another chance to add to the RBIs with a runner on third now with 2 outs and a 5-3 advantage. Crenshaw's ready. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss by Crenshaw. And the count 0-1. So bright blue skies here. Clear. A couple clouds hanging around, but nothing too crazy. You look at the radar. As showers are expected later on this evening. We're hoping those will pass. We will see. And that was a swing and a miss in the count 0-2. As we've already had our fair share of rain before the baseball season started, so we're hoping Mother Nature got it all out before the season. We have a nice, smooth, warm summer of baseball. And dry, if that. 0-2. Here's Crenshaw waiting the pitch, and he swings and misses, and he will strike out, does Crenshaw, but not before the Dogs put up a run, and they take a 5-3 advantage as we head to the top of the fourth.
If you are looking for some shopping and dining, head on over to Canal Place, where you will find quaint shops, galleries, restaurants, and inns situated in the old mill buildings and storefronts along the waterfront of Canal Place. They've become known as the happening place for the arts in the Mohawk Valley. Not so long ago, many of these buildings were working mills serving the garment industry. Even today, after conversion to serve as retail space, many of these rugged but lovely structures speak to our great regional manufacturing heritage. If you're looking for fine arts, entertainment, or antiques, you simply must pay a visit to Canal Place. Hey fans, Tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
And we are back. It is the top of the fourth inning. Dogs have extended that lead now to 5-3. And let's see what we can do here in the top of the fourth with Boonville coming to the plate. So Wyatt Lassiter will lead things off here for Boonville. It'll be Lassiter, Young, and Reed all due up here for Boonville at the top of the fourth. Here's the pitch. First pitch called strike one to Lassiter, the count 0-1. No balls and one strike from Dylan Ancinelli. And a ball hit past. Actually, it was hit to the first baseman, and the pitcher covers Ancinelli, but unable to get there in time as the runner slides in safely. Nice stab there by the first baseman, Alfonso. And runner is safe, however. So Jacob Young now the batter. Young was hit by a pitch in his first at bat here tonight. Young, a right-hander batter, and back to first base goes Ancinelli. And the runner quickly slides back, and that is Lassiter. So Jacob Young, the catcher. And again, another throw over to first base by Ancinelli. Here's the windup, the pitch, and there they call strike, and they count 0-1. So no balls and one strike to Jacob Young. And Shelley now sets, looks in, taking his time, winds and delivers. And there's a call to strike two inside portion of the plate. And the count now 0-2. And Shelley ahead in the count on Jacob Young. And again, back to first base goes Ancinelli. Runner gets back quickly is Lassiter. No balls and two strikes. Ancinelli grabs the rosin bag, throws it back down, and now he's ready to go with the 0-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that is strike three as Jacob Young goes down swinging for out number one. So Noah Reed now the batter for Boonville. Reed has a runner on first base with one out. Again, back to first base goes Ancinelli. And the runner Lassiter quickly getting back. Ancinelli. Ball got away from him when he threw it back to him. Now he's ready to go. Back on the rubber. And he will wind now and pitch to Reed. Here's the pitch. And missing inside. The count 1-0. A ball and no strikes to Noah Reed, who walked in his first at bat. He's the left fielder for Boonville. And Shelley looks at that runner at first base over his shoulder, delivers the pitch, and the catcher throws over. Does Joe Crenshaw to first base after getting the pitch. And again, a runner getting back quickly in the count 1-1. So really keeping that runner, Lassiter, close at first base. Here's the windup and the pitch. Runner takes off. Here's the pitch by Crenshaw. And he got him. Big throw by Crenshaw. Throws out Lassiter. They were keeping a close eye on him as he decided to take off. And Crenshaw with a nice clean throw and gets the runner out at second base. And now 2 outs and a 2-1 count here to Noah Reed. And Shelley winds and delivers. Called strike two inside portion of the plate. And 2-2. So deuces are wild. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the windup, the pitch from Ancelli. And a little chopper foul. And the count remains at 2-2. So Noah Reed at the plate battling against Ancelli here. And timeout is called as Noah Reed steps out. He steps back in the count 2-2. Here's Ancelli. He winds and delivers. And that one's popped foul. It was inside to Reed. He caught that right in his knuckle area. Battled it off on the inside part of the plate. 2-2. Here's Ancelli, the windup, the delivery, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, and down goes Reed, and that will end the inning. And the score remains 5-3 Dogs. Bottom of the 4th coming up.
Visit the Daily Post and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the Mohawk Valley. Our mission is to generate interest in the area and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our podcast, or sign up for our weekly email newsletter. Stop by today at thedailypost.digital. You'll be glad you did.
And we're back. We got a new pitcher on the mound here for the Boonville Lumberjacks. And that pitcher is Matt Helmer. Matt Helmer now pitching for Boonville here in the bottom of the 4th. Dogs ahead 5-3. So here is Aiden Streeter. So Aiden Streeter with an RBI single in his first at bat, and he will take his first hacks here against Matt Helmer. So Helmer has taken his warm-up tosses, gotten his ball from his catcher, and he is ready to go. Helmer, a righty. He'll face the righty here in Streeter. Here's the first toss here from Helmer. And that first ball is just that, a ball. Ball 1. And they count 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes here to Streeter. Streeter, the bottom of the lineup. Then we go back to the top with Diaz and Hart. And that one popped up. And the catch is made out in left field by left fielder Noah Reed for out number 1. So Eric Diaz now the batter. Diaz has struck out and flew out in this ball game already. He is a lefty, so it's going to be lefty versus righty here as Matt Helmer is a right-handed pitcher, and he's going to face the lefty in Diaz. And that one gets away as they threw it over to first base. And so now runner on second here. How did he get on second? How did he get the first? That was Streeter? Oh, I thought he popped out. Oh. Sorry, folks. I got correction as Streeter popped out. Or singled. I had him popping out. Apparently, they faked me out on the catch out there. Looked like he caught it. So now he is at second base after the ball was overthrown at first. So Eric Diaz now the batter with a runner on second base. Nobody out here, bottom four. Here's the pitch. Outside. Ball 1 to Diaz. Eric Diaz back in the batter's box, ready to go. And Helmer now delivers the pitch. And that one is hit deep. And it is gone. A home run by Eric Diaz, the first of the season here at Vets Memorial Park. So Eric Diaz, a first home run of the 2026 season here for Mohawk Valley, and adds 2 more runs to the Dogs' lead. So Eric Diaz with a 2-run home run for Mohawk Valley. So a 2-run shot for Eric Diaz. And the Dogs now lead 7-3 here in the bottom of the 4th. Nobody out. And that one missing too hard. And they count 1-0. And there's a shot by Hart to left field, but the left fielder's right there, makes the grab. And that is out number 1. So Brian Arias now will come to the plate for Mohawk Valley. That one gets away in the count, 1-0. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch, and that is called strike 1. It hits the outside corner. The count now 1-1. One ball, one strike. The pitch, right down the center of the plate, called strike 2. In the count now 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes now. Here's the pitch to Arias outside for ball 2 in the count now, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. There's the windup now on the pitch. And there's a swing and a foul tip. And the count remains 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brian Arias. Arias takes that one for a ball in the count now, 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three-two count now to Arias. Freaker is on deck. 3-2 pitch coming here from Helmer. Nobody on base after the home run, 2-run shot. That one is hit hard. So the shortstop makes a diving catch for out number 2. A nice glove there by the shortstop, Friedman. And that'll bring up Brody Freaker. And the pitch to Freaker is down low. And the count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that's popped up. And left fielder making his way to the wall, and it is gone. Another home run for Mohawk Valley. That is Brody Freaker with the 1-run shot for Mohawk Valley. And they now take an 8-3 lead. 2 home runs in the inning. And Brody Freaker with a blast for Mohawk Valley. Nolan Colby now, the batter for the Dogs, with an 8-3 advantage. 2 home runs in this ball game in this inning for the Dogs. And that one's fouled off by Colby in the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. On pitch and in the dirt. And the count now 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. One count. Here's the pitch from Helmer to Colby. And fouls that one off. Does Colby the count now 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch to Freaker is in the dirt now, and the count now is 2-2. Two pitch, outside, ball 3. 3-2 count here with 2 outs now, nobody on. And the reason nobody's on is the Dogs are clearing the bases with home runs. 2 in this inning. 3-2 pitch on the way. And there is ball 4. And so Nolan Colby will walk. And that'll bring up Jack Henning. So Jack Henning now the batter for the Dogs. Dogs with an 8-3 advantage. Bottom of the 4th here. Thus far, 3 runs for the Dogs. A 2-run shot at the bat of Eric Diaz, and then a 1-run shot from Brody Freaker. And pitch by Helmer right down the middle for a called strike 1. The count 0-1 to Henning. Henning has singled and struck out here tonight. He's got a runner on first base. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. A wind up the pitch, and that one is popped up high into left field. And left fielder is going to make the grab this time to end the inning, but not before some damage was done. 3-run score, 2 home runs in the inning, and the Dogs lead 8-3 as we head to the top of the 5th.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
And now coming to the plate for Boonville here in the top of the fifth is Asher Friedman. Asher Friedman now batting against Dylan Ancelli here in the top of the fifth. And the pitch missing down low, the count 1-0. Well, there's a strike, and the count now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And that one is popped foul. The count now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2. Here's the pitch. And that is called strike 3. So he will strike out Will Friedman. That is out number 1 of the inning for the Lumberjacks. So Davon Abaga now the batter. He walked and struck out in his first 2 attempts here tonight. There's the windup and the pitch, and that is fouled off in the count 0-1. I believe I've been hearing over my earpiece that Notre Dame has lost to Marcellus. Is that correct? And that is a softball score or baseball? Softball? Notre Dame softball, dear to my heart. They lose 6-3 to Marcellus. And there is strike 3. Quickly takes care of Abaga. Does Ancelli. So quickly 2 outs for the Lumberjacks here. So Will Hill now will come to the plate. Hill has walked and struck out here tonight. Hill, a right-handed bat here for the Lumberjacks. Here's the pitch, and there's a strike outside corner, 0-1. Ancelli trying to do some quick work here in the top of the 5th. There's the windup, the pitch, and that's outside missing, and the count 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Will Hill. 1-1 now with 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hill. Hill's the center fielder. And Ancelli winds and delivers. And hit on the ground. And foul. And the count now 1-2. So hit down the third base line, foul. As William Hill will make his way back to the home plate area and do it all over again with a 1-2 count. Dylan Ancelli from Southern Maine is the pitcher on the mound for Mohawk Valley. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Ancelli. And that one misses for ball 2 in the count now at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 count here to William Hill. Ancelli winds, delivers, And hit hard on the ground to the shortstop, unable to make the grab. And he's going to give them an error. E6 on the play there for Will Hill, reaching safely. So Michael Clarkson, the batter now for Boonville with 1 on and 2 out. Big swing and a miss by Clarkson for strike 1 in the count, 0-1. Clarkson is the first baseman for the Lumberjacks here tonight. No balls and 1 strike. There's the windup, the pitch, and another swing and a miss. And the count now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Michael Clarkson. Let's see if Ancelli can take care of him here. 0-2. And misses. They throw back to first, and the runner gets back quickly. And the count's going to remain, actually going to change to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Michael Clarkson. And Ancelli again looks in. He's going to set. Takes his time before he winds and delivers. Here it comes. And that one misses inside. A curveball curved late. And that will even the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2. Here's the windup now on the pitch. And ball hit foul down the third base line. And the count remains 2-2 to Michael Clarkson. Ian Farber is on deck should he reach. Dogs have an 8-3 lead here. Top of the 5th. From Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls, they're listening to the Perfect Game Collegiate League Baseball and the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. And there's called strike 3 as Clarkson watches that one sail by. And that'll do it for the inning. The Dogs lead 8-3. We head to the bottom of the 5th.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
And we are back. We have a new pitcher on the mound, all the way from Taiwan, and that is Lo Wen-chin. So Lo Wen-chin now pitching for Boonville. So Wesley Alfonso, the batter here for the Dogs in the bottom of the 5th. he will face Loan Shen. All the way from Taiwan. I always say, if you're listening out there, send me a message. Tell me you're listening from Taiwan. Maybe you don't understand what I'm saying, but say hello. Give a wave. As that will be the furthest anyone's ever listened, I believe. Well, actually, it will be. Australia's pretty far, though. I'm not sure which is farther, honestly. I'm not good with my geography. And there is ball one. And I think J-Mac is giving me the history lesson, geography lesson. So what's farther? All right, apparently we're going in different directions if we're going to Australia and Taiwan. That's what they're telling me up here in the booth. I wouldn't know, because if MapQuest doesn't tell me how to get there, I don't know how to get there. So Taiwan or Australia, gotta plug it into the GPS. That one misses, and the count now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. We might be a little more chipper in the booth. We got our dinner here tonight, so we're all chomping along. Me, I already ate, so can't eat while I'm talking. I try not to, at least. Sometimes it might sound that way, and that ball is hit to center field. Right center field, to be exact. And there is a single for the Dogs to start things off. So Joe Crenshaw now will come to the plate after the single from Alfonso. The Dogs looking to add some more runs to that 8-3 lead here. As a new pitcher, Loan Shen, is on the mound. It's a right-handed pitcher. Here's the pitch. Oh, that one gets away from him, almost puts it in the dirt. Almost went straight from his hand into the dirt. Stopped by the catcher. 1-0. So righty versus righty here with Crenshaw and Shen. Shen looks over his shoulder at the runner at first base. Nobody out. And a kick, wind, and deliver. And that one is popped up. And the second baseman calls everybody off, makes the catch. That is Elijah Negron for Boonville. So that is out number 1 on the pop-up from Crenshaw. So Aiden Streeter now the batter. Streeter 2 singles tonight and an RBI. Runner again on first base with a 1 out. Here's Shen. The windup, the pitch. And that one is hit right to the third baseman. He catches it and throws quickly over to first to try to grab the second out, and safe at first. So Streeter, line drive right into the glove of the third baseman. So here's Eric Diaz. Diaz with the 2-run home run earlier. So here is Diaz now at the plate with 2 outs and 1 on. And that ball hit on the ground to the second baseman, scoops it up, throws on over, and that'll do it for the inning. So a ground out ends the inning. Dogs continue to lead 8-3 after 5. Back after this.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank, it starts here.
And we are back. Top of the 6th. 8-3 is the score. And number 31 for the Lumberjacks will come to the plate here in the top of the 6th. And that is Ian Farber, who has walked and struck out here this evening. And here's the pitch called, strike one. As Ancelli continues to work his magic here at the plate. 0-1, here's the windup and the pitch. And down low for a ball on the count, 1-1 to Farber. Farber is the DH for Boonville here. Boonville taking the drive from up north, coming all the way over here to Little Falls for this Game 1 of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League season. That one misses, and the count now 2-1 to Farber. 2-1 pitch on its way, and it's fouled off, and the count now even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ian Farber. On deck is Tanner Ferguson, and following him, Elijah Negron. Starting to get dark here a little bit as we keep a close eye on the radar. Is our meteorologist, Ezzo. Yes, he's a meteorologist by night. By day, he does everything else. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the 3-2 coming from Ancelli. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. They'll wind up the pitch, and that is popped up into center field. Center fielder backing up at the wall, and that is gone. A home run. And just like that, the score now 8-4. That quieted the fans here at Vets Memorial Park with the solo shot by Ian Farber. So Tanner Ferguson now the batter as Farber goes deep to center field. The score now 8-4. So here is Ferguson, who has singled twice here tonight, and he is ready to face Ancelli. Ancelli tries to shake off the home run and delivers the pitch called strike one, outside corner. The count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Fans, don't forget, DiamondDawgs are back here on Sunday, a 5:05 start. And that ball hit right over the glove of the diving shortstop. Almost made the grab, just bounced off his glove. And that puts a runner on first base here for the Lumberjacks. So another single for Ferguson. And Elijah Negron, who has popped out twice, now will come to the plate for Boonville. So with nobody out, runner on first here for the Lumberjacks. And here's the windup and the pitch, and that hits him. He tried to duck out of the way and almost hits him in the shoulder area, almost the head, and hit by a pitch. So Ancelli trying to get things together here as he's fallen off a little bit of the rails here in the top of the 6th, trying to get back where he was for the last couple innings. So Wyatt Lassiter now will come to the plate. But before that, here comes Coach Luby. Everybody's coming in the infield. He looked down to the bullpen. And let's see if he's going to take that ball away from Ancelli. And right now, it looks like he's not. Looks like it's going to be a conversation. And looks like he may survive. No, that's it. He's going to turn the ball over. And Ancelli will be out of this ball game. And we will take a commercial break and be back. I'll let you know who the new pitcher is momentarily.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
And we are back. New pitcher on the mound for Mohawk Valley as Dean Daddio. So Daddio warming up, take the last few pitches here. He's a sidearm kind of a pitcher. A right-hander is Daddio. He is from Felician University. And at the plate when he is all warmed up will be Wyatt Lassiter. So nobody out here in the top of the sixth for Boonville. So we'll have a new pitcher. Runner on first base for Boonville. Boonville down 8-4, and here is Lassiter coming to the plate. Lassiter grounded out and singled in tonight's ball game thus far, and he will face Daddio the first time here. And so here we go. Lassiter steps into the box. Actually, runners on first and second, my apologies. And here comes the windup now, and the pitch is Daddio looks in. He sets, looks at that runner at second momentarily, now delivers the pitch. Sidearm thrower, and he misses for ball one, and the count 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Lassiter. Young is on deck. Jacob Young, the catcher for Boonville. Again, runners on first and second. Boonville down 4. 8-4 is the score. Top 6. And that has popped up. Foul territory. Catcher and first baseman coming for it. And the catcher makes the grab. And that is Jacob Young for Boonville. I'm sorry, for not Boonville, for Mohawk Valley. That is the catcher, Joe Crenshaw, for out number 1. The catcher now batting for Boonville is Jacob Young. Young hit by a pitch and struck out tonight. That went outside for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes here to Young. On deck, Noah Reed. Again, runners on first and second here for Boonville. Top 6, they are down 8-4. Daddio ready to go. He kicks, winds, and delivers the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that will even the count at 1-1. So a ball and a strike here to Jacob Young. Again, Young has struck out and was hit by a pitch earlier in the ball game. First time facing Dean Daddio here tonight. 1-1 pitch on its way. And that one misses down low and inside, and the count 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Young. Noah Reed awaiting on deck as the Boonville Lumberjacks trying to slowly get themselves back into this thing. And there's a little chopper to the shortstop. Takes a bad hop on him, and he's unable to make the grab. And that will load the bases. So an E6 on the play. And Noah Reed now the batter for Boonville with bases loaded. So Reed is the tying run at the plate here for the Lumberjacks with 1 out. And the pitch right down the center of the plate for a call. Strike 1 to Reed. And the count 0-1. So Noah Reed, the left fielder, has walked and struck out thus far in the ball game for Boonville. Pitch number 2 on its way, 0-1. And called strike 2 outside corner of the plate. And the count 0-2. So ahead on the count now is Dean Daddio for Mohawk Valley. 1 out, bases loaded here for Boonville. Top 6. 0-2 count. Pitch on its way. And that was down the middle of the plate, but a little low it looked like, as he did not budge on the strike there to the home plate umpire, in the count 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. And there's a shot to left field. Left fielder makes the grab, throws it in quickly. Runner tags up and will score. And the score now 8-5. Mohawk Valley with 2 outs. So the sac fly there by Noah Reed scores a run. And that'll bring up Asher Friedman with the runners on first and second. And the score now 8-6 Dogs with 2 outs. So Friedman, the shortstop for Boonville. Opportunity here for him. Here's the pitch. And hit past the dive in second baseman. And here comes a run. And a 1-run scores. Runner will make his way to third base. So runners on the corners. 1 run scores. And the score that much closer now, 8-7. Mohawk Valley. I'm sorry, 8-6. So here's David Abaga, who has struck out twice and walked. There's the windup, the pitch, swing and a miss. And there is strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike here to Abaga. 8-6 is the score. And that one is popped up to center field. Center fielder turns around and gets turned around the wrong way. And that's going to cause some damage here as runs will score. And play at the plate. Not in time. And 2 runs score. And a different ball game now, just with a big inning here for Boonville. And the score now tied 8-8. They've scored 5 runs. So now Will Hill will come to the plate. So Will Hill, who has reached on an error, struck out, and walked, now will come to the plate with a runner on second base, 2 outs, and the ball game knotted at 8. And off the rubber will step Daddio. So just like that, 1 inning changes everything. They scored 5 runs here thus far as Boonville. Here is the pitch. And inside portion of the plate, called strike. The count 0-1 to Hill. Hill, the center fielder, right-handed batter is Hill. And he faces an 0-1 count. 2 outs. Top 6th. Daddio looks at the runner at second, taking a generous lead, not being held on. And there's a big swing and a miss. That was outside. And he went reaching for it, did Hill. And now down 0-2 in the count. So no balls and 2 strikes now to Will Hill with Clarkson on deck. 0-2. 2 outs, runner on second base. Again, not being held on. Taking quite the lead is the runner. He's dancing around. And here's the pitch. Call strike 3. And that will end the inning, but not before damage is done. 5 runs scored. This ball game is tied 8-8 as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
And welcome back, fans. Bottom of the sixth. Big inning for Boonville as they crawl themselves right back in this game. As the score now 8-8. And Lo Wen Shen is the pitcher still on the mound here for Mohawk Valley. I'm sorry, for Boonville. So here is Shen with the first pitch of the bottom of the sixth. And there is a called strike. So Jake Hard is the batter for Mohawk Valley. 0-1 the count to Hard. And here's the windup and the pitch by Shen. That one gets away from him. And the count 1-1. So for Hard, he has grounded out, singled, and popped out here tonight. His fourth at bat here, first time around against Shen. Shen looks in and delivers now on the 1-1. Big swing and a miss by Hard. The count now 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So ball game back to where we started. Even, not at 0, but 8-8. So Dogs will look to rally again here, add some more runs to this lead score, and see if they can take the lead again. That ball gets away from the catcher, and the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to the right fielder, Jake Hard. It'll be Hard, Arias, and Freaker all due up here in this inning. So Shen looks in, long stare. And he will set and deliver. That one creeps across the plate. And the count 3-2. So full count here to Hard. 3 balls and 2 strikes, nobody out. Bottom 6. Shen delivers, and ball is hit to short. Shortstop scoops it, throws on over to first. And out at first base is Hard on the ground out. So Brian Arias now will come to the plate for Mohawk Valley. He is the shortstop. So Arias a triple, a pop out, and a ground out. So 4th time around here for him in the order. He's a left-handed batter, is Arias. He's going to face the righty here in Shen. Shen again looks in, delivers. Outside, ball 1. A ball falls out of the glove of Shen. He'll pick it up. Take a few bounces in hand, make sure it's good to go, and he will step back on the rubber to get a sign from his catcher. Here is Shen with the windup and the pitch. And down low for ball 2. And the count now 2 balls and no strikes. So 2-0. The count to Brian Arias, Freaker on deck. 2-0 now on the count. Here is Shen with the pitch. And that one misses. And the count quickly 3-0 to Arias. Arias is the shortstop for the DiamondDawgs here tonight. The 3-0 count here facing Arias. Shen sets, winds, and delivers outside and high for ball 4. And Arias will take his base with a walk.
Now batting for your Dogs, left fielder number 19 from George Washington University, Brody Freaker.
So here's Brody Freaker. Freaker hit the home run earlier in the ball game. He also struck out looking and singled. Last at bat was a home run. He fouled the home run by Diaz, the 2-run shot, and then the single shot by Freaker. So here is Freaker at the plate, runner on first base. And in the dirt, stopped by the catcher, Young. And the runner's going to head to second. And a pass ball allows the runner to advance to second base. A runner in scoring position now for the Dogs. And Freaker with a 1-0 count. So 1 ball and no strikes here to Freaker. Timeout is called. As runner trying to shake off some of that dirt. And looks like we're good to go as Freaker will jump back in the box to face Shen. A 1-0 count with 1 out. And a runner on second base here for the Dogs. Bottom 6, 8-8 to score. Shen on the mound. Freaker at the plate. swing and a miss by Frieger, and the count even at 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch on its way from Shen. Before he delivers, he's going to take a look at that runner at second and delivers the pitch. Calls strike 2 in the count, 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Frieger is set. Shen glances at the runner at second, not being held on. Here's the windup and the pitch. Runner takes off, and the ball gets away, so the runner easily makes his way to third base. So runner now at third with 1 out for the Dogs and a 2-2 count to Frieger. So Brody Frieger with a 2-2 count. Nolan Colby is on deck for the Dogs with 1 out and a runner on third. 2-2. Here is Shen with the pitch. And that one hit over the head of the second baseman. That's going to score a run. And the Dogs are back ahead 9-8 after the RBI single by Frieger.
Now batting for your Dogs, second baseman number 44 from Fairfield University,
So Nolan Colby now will step into the batter's box. He walked in his last at bat, also a single tonight, and a ground out for Colby. Colby batting from the left side, facing the righty in Shen. Runner on first. Again, just 1 out here. Dogs now lead 9-8. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 1. A big swing there by Colby. Oh, 1 count. No balls and 1 strike here to Colby. Shen looks over at the runner on first base. Short lead at first. Here's the pitch. High and outside, ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nolan Colby here in the bottom of the 6th. Dogs have jumped ahead again, 9-8. Shen is ready. Colby is ready. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, again, stopped by the catcher Young, but again, gets too far ahead of him, and the runner's going to advance to second. So now runner on second base in scoring position for the Dogs. And a 2-1 count to Colby. 2-1, 1 out. Bottom 6. Pitcher Shen looks in. Runner at second base not being held on. And the pitch. And that one is hit into right field. And do you make the catch? And the runner is going to score. He made his way to third. So a run scores. He makes the catch out there in the right field. Runner advances to third and then scores on the error. And Dogs now extend the lead to 10-8. So Jack Henning, now the batter that was tough to see out there in right field, but he made the catch in right. Runner advanced the third, and then an error resulted in him scoring. The Dogs taking a 10-8 lead. So Henning at the plate for Mohawk Valley. Here's the pitch to Henning, and called a strike. Curveball hits that inside portion of the plate. And the count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. A windup and the pitch, and that is fouled off in the count now 0-2 to Henning. So no ball and 2 strikes to Henning here in the bottom of the 6th. So Dogs bounce right back in their portion of the bottom of the 6th with 2 runs thus far, responding to the 5 runs scored to tie the ball game up by Boonville. Here's the pitch. And that one misses outside in the count 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Jack Henning. Right-handed hitting Henning, facing the righty in Shen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here is Shen with the windup and the pitch. That one takes a bounce in the dirt. And the count now even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2. And Henning at the plate, jumps back into the batter's box to face Shen. 2-2, 2 outs. Here we go. Shen will deliver to Henning. And that is popped up high into center field. Center fielder having a little trouble with it, but makes the catch. And that'll do it for the inning. So 2-run score for the Dogs. And they jump back ahead 10-8. We head to the top of the 7th.
Some people might think that the tire shop in Canajoharie only does tires. Nah, that's only their name. The tire shop does so much more. Oil changes, custom wheels, interstate batteries, computer wheel balancing, tire repair service and recapping, auto accessories, tire chains, ag bags, bale and net wrap, and much more. And when it comes to tires, the tire shop in Canajoharie also does so much more. Lawn and garden tires, off the road, backhoe, loader tires, log skidder, agricultural, ATV and UTV tires, and on the farm tire services. The tire shop is a multi-line new tire dealer. That means they're quite a choice for top brand name tires for your car, truck, SUV, semi-tractor, and trailer, all at great prices. They're also a Goodyear national accounts and state contract pricing location. Financing available too. Find more information and a list of services at thetireshop.biz. Thetireshop.biz. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Yes, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Tire Shop, 155 Erie Boulevard in Canajoharie.
And we are back. We have a new pitcher on the mound for Mohawk Valley. James Lester now pitching for the Dogs. Lester, a right-handed pitcher, and he is all warmed up and ready to go.
Leading off the top of the 7th for the Lumberjacks, first baseman number 13 from Paris Junior College, Michael Clarkson.
So Michael Clarkson will be the batter here for the Lumberjacks in the top of the 7th to face Lester. James Lester, that is. Lester ready to go. And catcher Crenshaw went out there to talk to him momentarily, and he is back behind the plate. Lester on the mound. And Clarkson at the plate. Here we go. And that one is down low for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes to Clarkson. Lester ready, winds and delivers, and swing and a miss for strike 1 on the count now, 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lights shining bright here in Little Falls as the dark skies got a little dark. We have a little rain coming up the map, and there's a swing and a miss, 1-2. Hopefully, we're hoping that maybe we can speed things up here and miss it and just hit it on the way home. For me, the ride is all the way past the Utica, so hopefully I'll probably run right into it, I'm thinking. 1-2, he swings and misses, and that is out number 1 for Lester.
Designated hitter number 31 from Niagara County Community College, Ian Farber.
So Ian Farber now the batter for Boonville. Farber, a left-handed batter to face the righty in Lester. Here's Lester now with the windup and the pitch. Strike outside corner. Nice pitch by Lester in the count 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike, and 1 out. And that one misses. And the count now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch will be on its way once everybody's back into their spots. And Lester is ready, and so is Farber. 1-1 pitch on its way. Here it is. Whoa, that one hits him. And that will put a runner on first as Farber, was hit by a pitch. So Tanner Ferguson, now the batter, a right-handed bat here for the Lumberjacks. Here's the pitch to Ferguson. Inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Tanner Ferguson. Ferguson, three singles here tonight. 1-0 pitch on his way. And we're going to check to see if he went. They say yes, he did. And the count 1-1. So a ball and a strike here to Ferguson. James Lester ready to go. Gets his sign. And he's going to kick, wind, and deliver. And there's another swing and a miss. And the count now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Ferguson went chasing that one. And a ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. 10-8 the score. Dogs ahead. Top 7 here from Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls. 1-2. Lester winds and delivers. And that has popped up into foul territory down the first base side. And we will stay put at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 to Tanner Ferguson. Due up next, Elijah Negron. One-two pitch from Lester. And that ball had a lot of movement and called a strike as he freezes the batter. And down goes Ferguson with strike 3 and out number 2. So Elijah Negron, who was hit by a pitch in his last at bat and popped up twice tonight, will jump in from the right side to face Lester with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Lester is ready to go and kicks, winds, and delivers, pushes him off the plate. That was high and inside, and the count 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to Negron. 1-0 runner on first. 2 outs. Lester's ready. Winds, delivers, and big swing and a miss by Negron in the count now, even at 1-1. A 1 ball and a 1 strike. And that one high, and a throw over by Crenshaw. And their runner is safe. We're waiting for the first train of the season. We haven't heard it yet. Usually we call out the 9 o'clock train? So far, nothing. So the 8:40 train is running late. It's in Chicago, I was told. 2-1 the count, and that one misses for, oh, sorry, that catches the corner. 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We got a little caught up in the train schedules. 2-2. And believe it or not, folks, there is a train that comes through here. I see it on my way home a lot of times, more of a industrial type train, I believe. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. That'll do it for the inning. And the score remains 10-8, Diamond Dogs lead. We head to the bottom of the 7th.
If you are looking for some shopping and dining, head on over to Canal Place, where you will find quaint shops, galleries, restaurants, and inns situated in the old mill buildings and storefronts along the waterfront of Canal Place. They've become known as the happening place for the arts in the Mohawk Valley. Not so long ago, many of these buildings were working mills serving the garment industry. Even today, after conversion to serve as retail space, many of these rugged but lovely structures speak to our great regional manufacturing heritage. If you're looking for fine arts, entertainment, or antiques, you simply must pay a visit to Canal Place. Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
And we are back. And Wesley Alfonso will lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th for the Dogs. So here is Alfonso, who had a single in his last at bat. And the Shen is ready to go and delivers the pitch and delivers a strike. And the count 0-1 to Alfonso. Alfonso, a right-handed batter for Mohawk Valley. We got Alfonso, Crenshaw, and Streeter. That one misses for a ball on the count 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. First batter of the bottom of the 7th is Alfonso. And the Dogs have a 10-8 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. And there's a swing and a foul tip. The count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now wind been pretty steady out there as that flag has been flying most of the time right to left all game. Nice little breeze, makes it a little cold once in a while. That one's high in the count 2-2. As we said, we got a little rain expected. ETA that rain maybe around 9:15, so we're hoping maybe we survive it here. 2-2. Here's Shen with the pitch. Curveball catches him for a called strike 3, and that is out number 1 as Alfonso stifled with that pitch for out number 1. So Joe Crenshaw now the batter. He popped out last at bat, also struck out and singled with an RBI as Crenshaw. Crenshaw, right-handed batter, right, facing the righty here in Shen with 1 out and nobody on. Shen is ready. He delivers and bounces it in the dirt for ball 1. A lot of work here for the catcher today. Young behind the plate. He's been all over the place. He's going to need an ice bath after this game. Be a long ride home for Boonville. He's been rolling around in the dirt behind home plate all night. 1-0 pitch in the dirt for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes to Crenshaw. Looking up and down our lineup this evening before I came to the ball game. We got a lot of guys from the south, in Georgia, and those guys they don't like the cold, so they haven't seen a winter like we've seen here. So I'm sure once we start talking to these guys, we'll start sharing some stories about some of the winners we have here in Little Falls and Central New York, and they'll say, well, I'm glad I'm only here for the summer. 3-0 count, and we're used to it out here, and it's not fun. 3-0 pitch coming to Crenshaw, and that one hits him in the shoulder, and so he will take his base. He'll take one for the team, and then I'll put a runner on first base by hit by pitch.
The DiamondDawgs, third baseman number 29 from American International
So
University.
Aiden Streeter,
Aiden Streeter.
now the batter for Mohawk Valley Dogs, looking for some insurance runs here late in the ball game. The bottom of the seventh, they have a 2-run advantage, 10-8. But you saw how quickly that can change with the Boonville Bats. So they look to pile on here if they can, and make it more difficult. And they throw back over to first, Shen, as Crenshaw slides back quickly. A 1 ball, no strikes to Streeter. 1-0. As off the rubber steps Shen, now back and ready to go. Looks at the runner at first base a few times. Shakes his head to his catcher, and now he's going to deliver the pitch. Runner takes off. Here's the throw. And late call. I haven't seen a call, actually. Looks like he's safe because he's staying there. But I never saw that umpire make a call. And now he makes the call. And the count 1-1. So Crenshaw is at second base. And Streeter at the plate. Runner in scoring position for Mohawk Valley. Shen looking over. He's taking a big lead. And he doesn't like it, so he's going to step off the bag. I'm sorry, step off the rubber, I should say. And the umpire looks back. I think he said 1-0. I don't know. There was. I agree. So here's the wind up in the pitch. We think we're right back here, but that's all right. We'll give it to him. And now the count is 1-1. Okay, 1-1. We knew there was 2 pitches. We weren't sure how it stacked up. Well, it still doesn't make sense because now there was 3 pitches. I put my faith in the guy up here. He's been doing this for a long time. But you know what? The umpires, we'll cut him a break once in a while. We'll deduct that out of his paycheck, guys. And there's a ball on the count now. 2 balls and 1 strike. So Ezzo will deduct that out of the umpire's pay. He's keeping track up here. Ezzo has never fallen asleep at the wheel up here. Never. 2-1. And that one misses for ball 3 in the count. 3-1. If anything, I've screwed up as a couple times where I'll just shout out a call, and then he'll be like, is that right? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then he puts it on the board and gets yelled at. 3 balls and 1 strike. 1 out. Runner on second base. Here is Shen now with the 3-1. Runner takes off. Here's the throw. And safe at third as this umpire doesn't make the call. He just stands there and watches it. And timeout is called now. And it looks like there may be a pitching change coming up as everyone's coming out to the mound here for Boonville. And we'll take a look and see if they're going to make a change. We'll go to a commercial break. But if not, we'll stay put. And we got 1 out right now for Boonville. I'm sorry, for Mohawk Valley with the runners on the corners. And 10-8 is the score, bottom 7. And it looks like we're not going to have a change. And if there's going to be a change, it's going to take a while. And no change. So just a long discussion as coach is still looking down the bullpen area as he takes a slow walk back. So here's Eric Diaz, Back to the top of the lineup. Diaz with that 2-run home run earlier in the ball game. And he would love to replicate that again here. Late in the ball game here in the bottom of the 7th with a 10-8 lead. And runners on the corners for Mohawk Valley. So Diaz at the plate. And here we go. As Shen looks in. Looks over at the runner at first base. And now we'll kick, wind, and deliver to Diaz. And Diaz hits it to the pitcher. Pitcher turns around, throws, and not in time. So he stuck out his bat, hit the ball. Shen picked it up, spun around a little bit, and then made the throw over to first, but everybody was safe. So bases loaded now. So Shen with the single, and now Jake Hard at the plate for Mohawk Valley with bases loaded and just 1 out. So the Dogs with a chance to blow it open here in the bottom of the 7th. Here is Shen with the pitch. Down low, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Too hard. And the count 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch by Shen, and he puts that one in the dirt. 4-2, and the count now 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, too hard. Again, bases are loaded for the Dogs. They lead 10-8, bottom 7. Here's some cheers coming from the Boonville dugout. And Shen is ready. He's going to wind, kick, and deliver. And that one is popped up at the foul territory on the third base line. As the battle continues here. And the count 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike to Hard. I'm sorry, to Hard. 2-1. Shen is ready to go. And he'll wind and deliver in the dirt again. And the count 3-1. And if I was keeping track of how many balls stopped in the dirt by Young, I'd say it is a lot. 3-1 count. Big pitch here. Big batter with bases loaded. No place to put him here, so Shen's got to get him out. He cannot put him anywhere because there's no spot for him. And he's going to do just that. Put him on first base, and a run will score, and bases will remain loaded for the Dogs. So a run walks in as Shen threw a wild pitch and got away from the catcher.
Shortstop number 17 from Dominican University, Brian Arias.
So here's Brian Arias, and with that, we will now have a change, and we will take a commercial break and be back after this. Dogs lead 11-8, bottom 7, bases loaded.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber, they're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
And we are back, and new pitcher on the mound for the Lumberjacks is Davon Abaga. He is the extra hitter in the ball game. He comes over to pitch. He is a right-handed pitcher here for Boonville, and he's taking his last few warm-up tosses. And the Dogs have loaded the bases here in the bottom of the seventh with an 11-8 lead. Well, 11-8 is the score here. And Brian Arias will be the batter here for Mohawk Valley.
Once again, they have now batting for your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs, the shortstop, number 17 from the
So here comes Arias.
Byron Arias.
So Byron Arias is the batter here for the Dogs with bases loaded. And Davon Abaga is the pitcher for Boonville. So Abaga versus Arias. Here we go. Lots here on the line for Mohawk Valley. They can score some runs here with a base hit. And that one is high for ball one, and the count 1-0. And the Dogs don't need just a hit. A walk would do just fine as they walked in a runner already. The count 1-0 to Arias. Arias, a left-handed batter facing the righty in Abaga. Pitch number 2 is a ball on the count now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Arias. Arias steps out, takes a few practice swings before he'll make his way back into the batter's box. 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Bases stacked. And that one gets away from the catcher, and a run is going to score. So the troubles continue here for Boonville. And the Dogs now extend that lead to 12-8. And runners advance, so runners now on second and third. Both runners in scoring position here for the Dogs. With Abaga on the mound here for Boonville. And the Dogs leading 12-8. So 3 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. And that is outside for ball 4. And that will load the bases again for Mohawk Valley as Arias will take a walk down the first base line. So here's Brody Freaker, who homered in this ball game already, and a home run here for him would do wonders here for the Dogs. So with 1 out, bases loaded, here's Freaker, and that is inside for ball 1. Abaga struggling here to find the strike zone against the DiamondDawgs. 1-0 the count. There's the windup and the pitch. And big swing and a miss in the count now, 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Freaker. 1-1 count, 1 out. Bases full of Dogs here. And that's in the dirt again. It gets away, and another run's going to score. So all night we've seen the same. I've talked about it throughout the game as ball getting away from the catcher. Jacob Young, I'm sorry. And the Dogs now lead 13-8 with runners on second and third. 2-1 count, 1 out. Abaga sets, winds, and delivers. And again, ball gets away, but catcher picks it up. As that glove has got to be sent back to the manufacturer. It's not working right tonight. 3-1. Here's the windup and the pitch. And called a strike through as Jones brought that pitch in. This will work on the framing job there. Good job by the catcher. And big swing and a miss there for out number 2. So Freaker strikes out with runners on second and third.
Now batting for your Dogs, second baseman number 44 from Fairfield University, Nolan Colby.
So Nolan Colby now the batter. Colby with 2 outs, runners on second and third. Again, Dogs looking for more, and that is hit into the glove of the first baseman. That'll do it for the inning with Dogs put up 3 runs, and they take a 13-8 lead. We head to the top of the 8th. Dogs ahead.
Visit the Daily Post and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the Mohawk Valley. Our mission is to generate interest in the area and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our podcast, or sign up for our weekly email newsletter. Stop by today at thedailypost.digital. You'll be glad you did.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Whoa. Test. And fans, we ask that you hang tight. We've got some big wind coming through here. Knocked our camera off. So we are going to hang tight for a second here. Wait for this wind to blow through. And hopefully we can get... and it looks like they're calling everybody off just for safety reasons right now, as this wind is pretty sharp here. And so we are going to go to a delay for a second here. The score right now is 13-8 Mohawk Valley in the top of the eighth. And we're going to take a break, and we'll let you know if we'll continue here momentarily. And we are back. So the rain has come a little bit, but we're going to play through it right now. Hopefully we can get through this here. And the count now is 1-2. And there's a called strike. That can't be a strike because it was 1-2. So we'll wait and see what the official count is. We thought it was 1-2, and he called a strike, so I'm not sure here what's going on. Now, ball just comes on the field. So things are just happening here. Weird. Ball just rolls on the field. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A 2-2 count here. Top of the 8th, 13-8 is the score. DiamondDawgs ahead. And here is the windup. Oh, timeout is called. Timeout is called. Oh, 2-2. Here's the windup and the pitch. And it's in the dirt. And the count now full at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the 8th inning. As we had a tremendous gust of air come through here. Knocked our camera off. Things were flying all over the place. And that one is hit into left field. And he's going to go all the way to second. And he's going to go third. So he got on his high horse and slides into third. And how about that? A triple to start things off here in the top of the 8th for Boonville. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here is number 26, Jacob Young, the catcher, coming to the plate for Boonville. So here is Young. And there's a swing and a foul tip. 0-1 the count. So no balls and 1 strike to Young. And runner on third base here for Boonville. And that one, it hits him in the hand. That one hurt. You can hear it from up here. And hopefully he is okay, as that is the catcher, Jacob Young. He's been having a game back behind the plate. So the umpire is talking to the coach. Coach is not happy. This player got hit in the hand. Trainer comes out from Mohawk Valley to take a look. So they're going to go out. I'm not sure what they're talking about. I'm not sure why the coach. I mean, obviously I know why he's angry, because his player got hurt. Oh, the ump saying it hit his bat. Okay. It definitely didn't hit his bat, because you can see the reaction he had. You can almost hear it whack his hand. So it looks like he's going to. And he's going to come off, I believe. So he's going to walk off. And best wishes to Jacob Young. Hopefully everything's okay. As he took a shot to the hand, he's going to go off with the trainer. Honestly, coach still unhappy, because how can the guy be walking off the field and not get hit in the hand? But ump made the call. He's going to stick to it. So we're waiting to see who's going to come to the plate. And Marshall, the Cy Marshall, will come in to bat for the injured Jacob Young. So here is Marshall. Wait for everything to settle in here, figure everything out. A little confusion going on here. And we're good to go here. So 1-1 the count. Oh, I think he said 1-2. So here is Marshall at the plate. And there's call strike 3. As the count was 1-2 apparently. And now there's going to be an argument with the coach saying that it was not a third strike, which we kind of agree up here in the booth. So things kind of just unraveling here for the home plate umpire. And there's a call strike. So there is strike one, 0-1 to Noah Reed. No balls and 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on third here for Boonville as they swing a foul tip in the count now, 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As the rain starts to fall here in Little Falls, steady rain falling. And here's the 0-2. And there's called strike 3. And now we have 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. We're going to go back to the top of the lineup. We have a pinch hitter coming in, number 1. I'll get you a name. What'd you say? Who? Oh, Ashton Friedman. And it looks like we had a lightning strike, so they're going to pull everybody off. And we're going to go to another delay. And we'll let you know what is up as soon as we know. So the score here before we go to break is 13-8 Dogs. And we are in the top of the 8th with 2 outs. We'll be back. Let you know what's up.
All right, folks, they have called the game with the Diamond Dogs ahead 13-8, and they're putting tarps on the field. There was lightning out here a couple of times, and we're going to call it a day. We'll talk to you the next time, Sunday at 5 o'clock.
The field and we're ready to play. We're all suited up, we got a game today. We're gonna play fast and we're gonna play hard, gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log, let me hear you holler now.